This is ESPN eSports. I'm Arda Ocal. The pandemic has certainly hit the entertainment industry as it pertains to live events. In particular, music. Artists have taken to Twitch and video games in order to present their artistry. Now, next weekend, inside of Minecraft, we might get what is being heralded as the biggest and most ambitious music festival ever to hit Minecraft. Names such as Diplo, Steve Aoki, A-Track, Jaws, Benny Benassi, and Paris Hilton are either performing at the festival or have a creative backing in some way, shape, or form, including the creation of custom stages. Speaking of that, we have a exclusive custom tour of many of the stages with the CEO of Rave Family, Jackie McGuire. Rave Family Block Fest will take place July 9th to 12th inside of Minecraft, and it is being heralded as the biggest and most ambitious music festival ever to hit Minecraft. Over 65 stages, more than 950 artists. Incredible. Jackie McGuire, the CEO of Rave Family, here to talk all about it and also give us an exclusive sneak peek on some of the stages that you will see. And some of them very intricate, very creative. And we're going to see specific stages from artists, including the brainchild of Diplo and his label Higher Ground, as well as Steve Aoki and his label Dimock, and many, many more. Jackie, this is very, very exciting. We're getting very close to the date itself. How has planning been? How have ticket sales been? Just tell me all about leading up to day number one that's coming up very fast.
Yeah, planning. It feels like we're finally getting there. So this has been probably like a 3 month adventure for us, and I think we're ready to launch camping in the next 24 hours. So we're gonna have one of the things that we're doing is group camping, where people can actually come in and build a group camp. So that's ready to roll, and then yeah, the festival is right upon us, and it's been amazing. The ticket sales are really doing really well. We've got a ton of interest. I think the artists are really excited, which is kind of one of the cooler things for me is that they're all like, every time we send somebody a video of their stage, they just freak out because it's one thing for an artist to be able to custom make their own visuals for a stage at a festival, but to be able to customize this entire world that your fans are going to come interact with you inside, I think is something really special for them. So it's almost like each artist gets to have their own mini festival.
Yeah, so as we take a look at the tour, which will start in just a second, you will see the level of detail and creativity that goes with all the stages. And certainly a lot of them look very different and have their own inspirations. But first, let's talk about just the sheer magnitude of this festival itself, right? I said it 65 stages, 950 artists. How do you even put all of that together? I mean, that it sounds like an astronomical task. How did it all come together?
Yeah, so this started out as just a silly idea for my friends and I. So I've worked in music here and there, almost kind of as a hobby for the last few years, and I've been going to festivals for several years and had met a handful of musicians. And when I realized that Electric Forest wasn't going to happen, which is my favorite festival, I actually have a lake house in Rothbury, Michigan, like inside where they do Electric Forest, and so we always have like 30 or 40 people over and throw a big party every year for it. So when it was canceled, the thought just occurred to us that hey, we could actually do a Minecraft festival and recreate that. And so I originally reached out to a couple artists that I like as a fan and friend. It's like, hey, I have this silly idea since we're not going to be able to go to Rothbury this year. Do you want to come play Minecraft with us? And we'll build like this fantasy festival. We'll build some of the venues that we all dream to go to and perform at. Um, and it just happened that two of the people that I reached out to, Devin James and Zach Britt, who are now, I mean, geez, they're like family. I've spent more time with them in the last couple months than I have with my kids. Um, they both happen to be really well respected and connected professionals in the music business as well. So they reached out to a handful of people, and I think a combination of nobody had really figured out how to monetize live streaming. It's just not like I think when everybody started streaming during quarantine and did it for free, it kind of set the bar at free. And so, there was everybody has a ton of time on their hands and are not able to reach the fans in the way that they wanted to. So, um, what we did is the first handful of artists that we reached out to actually quote unquote book for the festival, we asked them, hey, like we have these stages that we built, and I think one of the artists was like, well, could I build a stage? Like, could I do something on my own? We are like, yeah, absolutely, you can do that. And then that just kind of became the way that we ran things. So as we would book, a larger artist, like an A track or um, a zoo, it was basically like if you would like to host your own stage, you can book artists. You can do that, and so that ended up being what we did. And so I can't take credit for booking all 950 artists because the stage hosts actually reached out to their own talent and kind of built their whole lineup. And in addition to doing all the creative direction for their stages, they actually curated the music on them as well.
So some of the artists that will be playing throughout the weekend are A-Track, as you mentioned, Jaws, Kashmir, Paris Hilton, Benny Benassi, and there will be stages that you will see during this tour that are inspired or are the creative brainchild. So they had a say in how the stage was constructed. Steve Aoki and his label Dimock, as well as Diplo and his label Higher Ground. Before
Yeah,
we start with the tour, let's also just talk about the price points. So people can buy tickets at rave.family. The tickets are sold on Eventbrite. GA is $10.
yeah,
VIP is $15. Early entry is 5. So this at first glance immediately sounds like a much more affordable experience than going to a festival like a Coachella or a Lollapalooza to begin with, which could be hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, if you go to the event itself. So I guess let's compare the price points. Like, how did you come up with this particular price point? How much of that was influenced by the fact that people are at home and watching on a screen? Like, how do you think the experience will be like in comparison to the price point that you have made here?
yeah. So what that's making festivals more accessible has always been something I've been really passionate about, be it monetarily or from a ability standpoint. And so I think the we kind of calculated the price based on what we knew that other Minecraft server hosts were charging for access to Minecraft servers. So there's a little bit of economics already in place there, and just kind of knowing that a lot of people are out of work right now and that with quarantine, like people don't necessarily have a ton of money to be spending, we wanted to make sure that it was something that would be affordable for people. So yeah, we based it kind of on our best guess estimation of what it would cost us to actually run the servers, and then also paying for the music rights. So we're partnered with Mixcloud to provide the music, and that was really important to me because most of the live streaming that's happening right now, the live streaming platforms don't pay for the rights to the music that they use, which is one of the reasons you're seeing a lot of the takedowns and things like that. So we basically built the ticket so that the GA price would cover paying Mixcloud to identify all the tracks that a DJ's mix and pay all of the rights holders for the right to use that music, and then to provide the artist with the largest share of income, and then pay for our servers. And I figured $10, is less than the price of a drink at most clubs if you were to go see an artist at a club or pay cover
Especially in New
charge.
York.
Yeah, yeah. Or in Vegas. My favorite is Vegas, where you pay $20 and you get a cup that's like this big. It's like an inch wide and like 2 inches tall, and it's three ice cubes with like a splash of alcohol on top. Uh, yeah, so it was like, hopefully this is something. And the other thing is that the festival, the debut weekend is this weekend, this next weekend coming up, a week from tomorrow. Ooh, starts a week from yesterday, actually. And but we're actually going to run the festival for an additional 3 weekends after the fact. So we wanted it to be something that not only was affordable but would provide you with entertainment for more than just a weekend.
So people will be able to experience it with one price point. So for that ticket, they will be able to go in all 4 weekends and experience different sets that they weren't able to do the first time around. The one thing I do want to
Yeah.
mention, and you did tell me this offline, is that you are encouraging people to stream the event. So if they're streamers, they can stream this all on Twitch. Just be careful of the audio portion of it. Like you said, there's a separation there on Mixcloud that you will be able to experience it if you're just attending. But if you're streaming, be aware of the DMCA copyright strike. So don't necessarily stream the audio portion of it, but still show the video just in case you don't want to get caught with a strike. Why don't we take a look at the tour? I want to see what people will experience. So I think we're starting with the very beginning, like the main entrance of the
Yeah.
festival.
Yeah, so this is the main entrance. So this is where people come in, and the kind of artistic direction for this festival was kind of Electric Forest meets Disneyland. So we wanted it to have like a very like it says home this way because when people who go to the forest go back, we call it, hey, we're going home, and that's really what it feels like because you see the same people every year, and so I wanted it to have a feeling of like familiarity, I guess. Um, so what you're seeing is the main festival entrance here, and as you come in, you will see that we come into a fairly iconic
Nice.
venue, which you might recognize already from the side of it. When we started building this, we were like, this would be a chance to build a festival that has any venue we ever dreamed of going to, plus a whole bunch of venues we could never have gone to because of the laws of physics. And so
Sure.
the first thing that we built was Red Rocks because I think I was supposed to go to Red Rocks to go to a show this year and didn't, that's canceled. So we're like, all right, well, we'll build Red Rocks in Minecraft. And I think being one of the venues that people wanna play at, that was really appealing to a bunch of artists, and they saw it, they're like, "Oh, I love Red Rocks," it's, like, such an iconic venue.
So as we
Um
walk around here, so this is Red Rocks, the one of the at least the primary stage in terms of when you walk in, that's the first stage that you see.
Mhm.
So explain a little bit, like people might be a little bit confused about the capacity. So how will capacity work in terms of okay, per instance of the stage, how many people will be able to watch a set at a time? But what if there's more people that want to watch a set at the same time? What will happen then?
Yeah, so we use cloud servers on AWS, and AWS has these great tools called auto scaling and load balancing. So what you'll see is I'm about to run into the Jaws stage, and what's going to happen is as soon as I cross the threshold of the stage, it's going to warp me basically to his actual stage. So
Okay.
each artist has their own server, and the server capacity kind of varies based on a handful of things, based on the how intense the stuff going on at the stage is. So like
Oh,
different
that's cool.
Minecraft effects use different amounts of memory. So the capacity for us, we're probably going to keep it somewhere between 250 to 500 people per stage. But what happens is when the cloud server sees that the stage is getting full, it says, "Uh oh, I'm at 50% capacity. I better make a copy of myself and spin it up." Like start the another server, and then when it gets to 80% capacity, it says, "Okay, now it's time to start sending people to the new server." So the capacity at the stage is unlimited, but you would only ever be in there with a couple hundred people at a time, which is part of why the stages are a little bit smaller in that um, I don't necessarily think that you would want to be in Minecraft with 1,000 other people. I could be wrong, but but I think a couple hundred people is probably plenty, in terms of being able to move around comfortably and actually see the stage. So yeah, I mean, and that's the way all of the different stages work. So the main festival has its own auto scaler, and then each of the individual stages have one as well.
We mentioned the ticket prices earlier. The other thing we should say, I think it kind of goes without saying, is you'll also have to purchase Minecraft. But still, that overall offering is still well below $100, even below 50 in some cases, right?
Yeah, and one of the things that was really important to me is that I had because I've attended a handful of Minecraft music festivals, both for market research and just as a music fan prior to taking on this project, and most of them have occurred in Minecraft's older version of the game, which is the Java version, which is kind of like the hardcore Minecraft users version. Oop. So just to
We're in
explain
the
what I just
TARDIS
did,
right
I
now. Is
just
it Doctor Who?
yeah, yeah, it's the Doctor Who TARDIS. So that's actually how we're getting around the festival. So if you don't want to have to walk around the festival, you can warp with the TARDIS, and you can see the blue beacon off to the right there. There's a
Uh,
TARDIS at almost every stage, or in the middle of a handful of stages in most areas. And I just thought it would be cool to show the level of detail here, um, and
my
that like you
Canadian
could.
heart is singing right now at Sunnyvale Trailer Park. Yeah,
Yeah, same. I grew up in northern New Hampshire, very close to the border with Quebec, and my dad is actually half Quebecois, so
nice.
same. So yeah, with Minecraft, the all of the previous music festivals had been in the older version of the game, and it was really important to me to get it into the mobile version for a cost because the Java version of Minecraft is 27.99 or 26.99, and the mobile version is only $7. And
Nice.
accessibility again, like I didn't want there to be a huge barrier to entry for people to be able to onboard onto this, and the Java version of the game requires a fairly decent computer. It's kind of graphically intensive, whereas Bedrock was built after Microsoft purchased Minecraft to be kind of a lighter weight version of the game. Yeah, so I think all in, even if you buy the Java version of the game and you go VIP, you're probably still looking at right around $50. So again, hopefully affordable for most people. And then if you need to do it on a budget, you can do it for $17 between a $10 ticket and a $7 mobile copy of the game.
So
And now
you have a
you,
lot of you have a lot of inspiration. So the Trailer Park was Trailer Park Boys. Now we're in the Dunder Mifflin office. So you have a
yeah.
lot of like pop culture influences all around the festival.
Yeah, we do, and I think that that's kind of one of the cool things is so I used to manage an artist named Subset, and when quarantine started, he started doing this 9 to 5 stream, and he and I were talking, and he was like, "It would be cool to build an office building to party inside." I was like, "Well, if we're going to build an office, why don't we build the office?" Uh, and this is actually done to scale, so you'll notice like on my right is the training room. On my left would be where HR sits. That's Jim and Dwight's desks. That's Michael Scott's office, Pam's desk. So you can like even though it's blocky 8-bit like silly graphics, you can actually get fairly close to accurate. This is Joe Exotic's Tiger Panda Park. So we have a handful of uh, pandas, and the interesting thing in Minecraft is that pandas eat bamboo, and the really interesting thing is that in Minecraft, if you feed two animals next to each other and they get hearts over their head, just like real life, it means you're about to
Uh-oh.
make a baby. So watch closely because boop, there goes a baby.
And there we are
Yeah,
procreating at Rave
yeah,
Family Block Fest.
yeah. We're learning
You're
about the
really
birds
putting the
and the bees.
family in a Rave family here.
But look how cute the babies are. Um, and the pandas actually do like somersaults in Minecraft. The animals in Minecraft are super cute. That was one of the things that initially appealed to me about Minecraft is that the animals are adorable. Um,
Unbelievable.
so here's another way you can get around. So if I don't want to have to go find a TARDIS and I don't want to have to run to a stage, I can literally just say server, uh, do not duplicate, which is that's bijou. Oop, I just need to learn how to spell. There we go. So Bijou wanted a boat party. Uh, so we this is the belly of a giant boat. And this we've actually made since uh, we have a 2.0 version of this that when people attend the festival is going to be even cooler than this. But
Wow.
so this is kind of a main area inside the boat that you can run around in, and then this is probably one of my favorite stages just because the visual impact of so this is a magic castle. Uh, and I think
Wow.
it kind of shows you the level of detail that you can get to on Minecraft and that this is insane. Like I did not build this. I can't take any credit for this.
You're
We
saying
actually have a
Disneyland,
team
right?
of
You got the Magic Kingdom. There you go.
exactly, yeah. So we have a team of about 30 builders. Some are my family, so my husband helped quite a bit in the beginning, and my kids have actually built a handful of things. And
Wow.
then we had a whole bunch of music fans reach out and offer to help building. So this has been a truly kind of
So
collaborative group effort.
how did the process go? Like, let's say an artist wanted their set built. How was that collaborative effort? Oh, it's raining.
Yeah, yeah, the nice thing is you can I have God mode, so I can clear the weather here. Because I think I was telling you this offline is that there's something about rain at a festival that even when it's in Minecraft and you know it's not a big deal, it still bums me out. So yeah, so what we did is we ended up We ended up automating everything. So the artists filled out a fairly detailed survey about what they wanted their festival to look like. So, should it be, what kind of terrain should it be on? What kind of buildings should be there? What kind of food should you be able to eat? So in our version of the game, you will get hungry, and if you get hungry enough, you actually will become somewhat lethargic. You can't run, and you have to go. There are food tents at every stage, and you actually have
Okay.
to go. Ooh, don't die like I just did. If
Oh,
you
yep.
fall off the edge of the world, you will respawn. So
Fair
no
enough.
worries there. So and you actually won't starve to death. You'll just become very lethargic, and you'll need to eat again. But yeah, so this is the. I think we're at.
This is nice. I just love the
Yeah.
creativity, the colors that are used, all the different layouts, the inspirations. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
and this one was built by my friend Victor, who runs the Brigaders, which is a crew that has a fire truck in LA that they throw parties on. Like they converted this fire truck into a stage. And he had never played Minecraft before. And at the very, very beginning of this endeavor, I reached out to him, I got him a copy of the game and he got in there. And first he built his fire truck. It's actually next to Dunder Mifflin. And then he just started going crazy. So it's really kind of a testament to anybody can play Minecraft, and it's just if you can click a mouse, you can build in Minecraft, and the limitation is really just what your imagination can come up with. So, this is Cut Snake stage, and there's actually a whole bunch of surprises on this stage that I'm not going to show you. So, one of the really cool
Okay.
things is that all of the artists gave us a ton of direction too on like Easter eggs and things like that. So, when people are playing, I hope that they, instead of just standing in front of the stage watching their favorite DJ, I really hope they kind of explore all of these worlds fully because there's some really cool Easter eggs and games and things like that that you can play.
And it goes
Um,
without saying that the DJ, like the DJs themselves, it's not going to be a screen like in Fortnite where they're watching a screen and it's actually them. They're going to be in Minecraft in pixelated form. So that's going to be an expression too, right? The
yes,
the
yeah.
actual DJs themselves. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so we are at the Higher Ground stage. So Higher Ground is Diplo's
Uh,
house label that he launched last year. And MK is actually the artist that's going to be hosting the the lineup here for the stage. And this again, this was built by an insane team of builders. This group of four guys that I just like some of the stuff that they built is insane. So this is a space station complete with like some self-sustaining biomes. So you probably saw I just flew over one that had like lava in it. This is it has a solar panel, and the solar panel is actually the risers for the stage. So the stage itself is a flying saucer, um, and you can sit on the solar panel to watch the music. And then they they built out a handful of other
cool.
biomes here in the world that are super cool. So
I
there's
love that.
a
Like, look at this.
go
Like,
ahead.
we're in space. We were just swimming. We were in different worlds. Like, we were in Joe Exotic's enclosed area. We were in Dunder Mifflin. I mean, there's so much to explore. It's really really rad.
Yeah, so that was a winter biome, and then this is the jungle biome here. So there's like a full jungle area to explore. And then my favorite one, and again, you probably figured out already, I'm a big fan of Minecraft pandas, just because they're so cute. So we actually have, as you do when you build a space station, we have pandas over here.
Sure. The first thing you think of.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm like when I'm thinking about going to Mars, it's like we better bring pandas. That's
Yes.
like priority number one.
What are the
But
big
yeah,
differences between space pandas and regular pandas? Do we know?
they space pandas can do somersaults in midair.
Ah, of course, of course, naturally.
uh, Zero gravity pandas. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know that I would ever be able to build something this intricate. So I'm so thankful for the volunteers that we've had because the artists themselves, I think when you say to them, "Hey, if if you could build anything and gravity wasn't an issue, physics wasn't an issue, like literally, if you could build the coolest thing in the world, what would you build?" This is what you end up with. So this is Maceo Plex's Elmwood, and Maceo Plex is a massive Blade Runner fan, so he built this insane kind of Blade Runner-ish apocalyptic world. So there's all of this crazy stuff outside, and then there's like this whole like structure here that you can go inside and explore as well.
You
So
should
it's kind
remind
of a
people that, like, as you're showing us all of this, like people are going to want to like intricately explore all of these stages, and there's 65 of them. So it's really cool that you are actually opening this up to multiple weekends so people won't feel like they miss anything.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue at regular festivals is set conflicts.
Yeah.
And that's an issue here too, right? Because there's probably going to be multiple artists that you want to listen to playing at the same time. So, not only that, but like you said, it's going to take forever to explore these stages. So we thought it was really important that people get to have an experience and really kind of fully see everything. So yeah, I'm happy for that.
This is
And over
cool.
on the right there, those are boats, so you can actually get in those boats and kind of rowboat around if you want to do that. I'm cheating here and jumping between servers. Um,
That's fine for
this
the
is a
tour, I think.
yeah. This is another one of my favorites. So this is Sasha Robati, and he has the Sloth Acid stage. So like Sloth Acid is kind of one of his brands, and in addition to most likely being one of the nicest people I've ever met, he was really involved with kind of creative on the stage. He wanted people to be able to camp. So I'm the only one in this server right now. So in Minecraft, if everybody goes to sleep,
Hey,
if everybody lays down in a bed and goes to
good
sleep,
night.
it turns into morning. Yeah, so and your health refills, which is cool. Um, yeah, so Sasha actually, when we got on the final call with the builders, and this was built by the same team that built Higher Ground, um, he got on the phone with them and was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And yeah, so it's been really cool because it's also one of the things that was really appealing to me is that this is an entirely new way for fans to connect with artists. And like festivals are really expensive, and so you're only ever going to get maybe like 5% of your fans, 10% of your fans that can actually afford to go to a festival. This is A
Oh,
Track, so this is A
yeah. Where
Track's
are we?
Fool's Gold, and this is another one that was built by my friend Victor, who again is not like has not been building in Minecraft for very long, but has been able to do some insane
So
stuff.
all of these stages were either built by you and your family, your husband and kids, a team of volunteers, basically a grassroots approach, or the artists themselves.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that I think has been kind of renewed my faith in humanity and music in general, and that like because with festivals there's only so many slots, and it's typically based on who has the most plays, who has the most followers. Um, this is like you can reach all of your fans, and the thought that I could go into Minecraft and build something for my favorite DJ and then send them a picture and they could say, hey, cool, I'd like to incorporate that into my world for the next festival is really cool, because we're going to actually be doing these once a month, so or once every 6 weeks. The goal is to have a totally new main festival area and then have the artists be able to continue to work on their servers. So this is Walker and Royce, rules don't apply. This is one of the stages. Oops, I'm in spectator mode, so I'm flying through floors. This is one of the stages where, again, like I hope people really kind of poke around, because when rules don't apply, there's some interesting stuff that you can do here. Um,
Aliens, let's go.
yeah, yeah,
Take me to your leader. Was that a big alligator head, by the way, back there?
it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an alligator with a bird sitting on it, and he's taking a big bite out of the stage. Uh, Yeah, and I just like seeing people's creativity, seeing the builders, like the stuff that they come up with, and also the way people find to do stuff in Minecraft, because it's all blocks, right? So like there's like to make something round is not the easiest thing in Minecraft. So seeing how people build even just like trees is really
Sure.
interesting. This is Kashmir's Dharma Temple. And
Yes.
this is really, really cool because they gave us some visual guides. And one of the visual guides was that pattern that you see on the wall in the back was actually in the picture that they gave us. And the builder that built this stage was able to recreate it. So they wanted more or less like a temple in the middle of the jungle. And you'll see that this is such a cool design. I love this one a lot.
It varies in
Fly.
sizes too, right? Like some of them are very vast, others are a little bit more condensed in terms of
Yeah.
stages. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just kind of based on, um, how much, how many Easter eggs we wanted to put in there, and the type of world and things like that. So some of the smaller stages have some of the cooler stuff in them. So like food items. So like I was saying, you get hungry and you can actually go get food at any of the different stages. This is one of the other stages that I thought was really cool. This is a Steve Aoki's label Dimock. Steve, as a young kid, was obsessed with the movie Bloodsport. That's actually where Dimock comes from. Dimock means death touch. If you've seen the
Hmm.
movie, you know all about it. So he wanted a dojo. We have given him that, and so above ground is a dojo, and then if you go below ground, again, if you're a fan of Bloodsport, you're going to see that we with fair. I mean, if you've seen the movie, it's pretty close. We built the Bloodsport arena.
Nice. Let's
Um,
go.
yeah, yeah, and so there's a super cool mini game associated with this stage that I hope people come check out because it's going to be really
Can I
fun.
guess what it is? People are gonna be fighting in the stage. If that is it, I'm only
Yeah,
speculating here. If they
yeah.
are able to fight in the stage, that'll be lights out. I mean, I will be in line. Oh my gosh. There's many reasons to love Steve Aoki. The fact that he has such a love for Bloodsport is definitely high on the list.
Yeah, yeah, we were talking about this offline. We're both MMA fans, so
Yes.
yes, there will be some hand-to-hand combat, um, and yeah,
Well, you know
and
where to find me. That's great. I love it.
you'll be out there beating everybody up. Luckily, you won't necessarily have to fight for survival, but and you won't be able to beat other people up at the stage, but yeah, there's a mini game
Fair enough.
associated. So that's one of the cool things about Minecraft, right? Is that there's these mini games within the game, and we have those at most of the stages. And like, yeah, it's this to me has been kind of an exercise in letting people's creative freedom run wild, and for artists, I think that it's just like I was saying, it's just this whole new way of connecting with your fans and being like, hey, I built this whole world for you to come enjoy my music inside, which I think is something that's super special. And then we've talked about this a little bit, but this makes festivals accessible to more people. So a lot of people have asked me, well, what happens when real festivals come back? And given the unfortunate trend going on in the U.S. right now, I don't think we're going to see real festivals come back for quite some time, just because we've got until we get the current pandemic under control. That's probably not an option. And I think even once real festivals do come back, you're probably looking at significantly lower capacity. So you're not going to be able to pack 100,000 people into Las Vegas Speedway for EDC like you could before. So, um, if you think about it from the perspective of somebody that might have, say, social anxiety or might have be in a wheelchair, one of the things that I've always been super frustrated with most festivals is that they're required to provide ADA viewing at the platforms for people in wheelchairs, but the way you get around a festival when you're in a wheelchair is pretty difficult at most of them, and it's just not the most accessible thing. So I think looking at and also for artists outside the US who would never be able to play a US festival, I booked an artist from Cameroon, just like this up and coming kind of reggae dance hall rapper, Adele Clarice, and she, thinking about what would be required for her to get a visa and travel clearance to actually come to the US under normal conditions, to be able to play a festival like this is so cool. And that's, I don't know, I think this democratizes music festivals. It democratizes the kind of music experience for artists and fans. And I say DJ a lot because we focused on electronic music, but um, we're already looking outside that. We have a handful of live bands and other genres booked at this festival, and we'd love to do even more. I think a metal concert in Minecraft might be fun.
I wanna break that news, and I will be the first person to buy a ticket if that happens, because 'cause I'm a big metalhead, but,
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there, for the purposes of Rave Family Block Fest. Let's end on this, just the idea that your plan is to make this a regular occurrence in Minecraft, and I'm fascinated by the marriage between music and its artists, as well as video games, and we've seen this to great success already. But I'm wondering as the years go on, even like you said, when live concerts come back, I'm just wondering what you believe the future of live concerts and music in a video game will be.
Yeah, so I think there's a handful of ways that we're going to see this manifest. One is that we're already talking to a handful of other game companies who've reached out and said, "Hey, this is really cool. We would love to see something like this on our platform," because they tell us that they see a significantly higher level of engagement with their players when they have music. Um, I think you've seen that in like Fortnite and a handful of the other platforms. So I think one of the things that we've had already had interest in is doing kind of dual events where you would have the real life event going on in person, but then you could also recreate it within a game. So I think that's something that's going to be start to be more prevalent. I'm also I have a background in AR and VR, and so we're working on our own kind of proprietary AR VR platform that incorporates music and also interacting in a virtual space. So I think as you were saying, artists have seen a lot more engagement with their fans when they are playing video games, and it gives them something to stream that's not just a DJ set. So I think, I honestly think you're just going to see the two communities come closer and closer together. And my hope is that we'll start to see more games being built around music experiences. So like right now, it feels like we're kind of trying to shoehorn music into games that weren't necessarily built for music, but we do have a handful of platforms that have reached out that are in earlier stages that are looking at kind of making music the focus of the game. So, you have to kind of accomplish something in the game to actually get to the set. And that's kind of like with Dimock, we're kind of starting to do some of that. There's a mini game inside Dimock, and it integrates pretty tightly into the whole music experience at the stage. So I think that's what I see is that we're just going to have to. I don't see how this is going to become a smaller portion of music. I think that gaming is just going to become an ever more present aspect of music festivals.
So it's called the biggest and most ambitious music festival ever to hit Minecraft, or at least that's how it's being heralded. Rave Family Block Fest, July 9th to 12th, inside of Minecraft. Tickets are available at rave.family, sold through Eventbrite. GA $10, VIP 15, and early entry $5. 65 stages, more than 950 artists. Pretty much every corner of the world is represented in this festival. And don't worry, if you miss the first weekend or if you don't get to watch everything or explore and discover everything you wanted to see in the first weekend, there will be 3 more weekends with the same ticket that you purchased once to be able to relive it or discover new things all over again. Jackie McGuire is the CEO of Rave Family, joining us here on ESPN Esports. Thank you so much for your time and for that exclusive sneak peek on all those stages.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Can't wait to see you there.
So this certainly does have the potential to be the biggest and most ambitious music festival ever to hit Minecraft. And I think that this looks really, really promising, particularly the way that this is being done. I love the grassroots approach. So I love how Jackie and her family are among those that are creating the stages for these artists. Many of the artists are creating the stages themselves, and also a group of volunteers that just want to be a part and chip in and help out to create something so substantial and also something that can be replicated on a regular basis. We might see this every 6 weeks, like Jackie said. So for music fans and also fans of Minecraft and video game fans in general, this will be a unique experience for them to live and relive multiple times. And I do believe that we can, as we continue to hear events like this, Rave Family Block Fest, Travis Scott's Astronomical and Fortnite, and many different video games possibly coming into the entertainment space, merging the entertainment and video game mediums, especially those video games that act as a service, and wanting to have those users stay in the video game as long as possible to experience events like Fortnite has done and like Minecraft has done through, for example, Ray Family Block Fest. I do believe that the sky is the limit for musicians and artists to be able to not only showcase their brainchilds, to showcase their creativity and their music to a wide audience, but also be able to monetize it in a certain way as well. I do believe that we're going to see this grow and grow exponentially, especially as the pandemic continues. But even when live events come back, even when festivals are back and people are able to go to events once again, I do believe that we will see an online component And in particular, video games will be uniquely suited to provide unique experiences for people to enjoy this. So, this is an ongoing story. I'm very fascinated by it. And I'm definitely going to check out Rave Family Block Fest, if nothing else, than for the sheer curiosity of it, how it will be executed, and also what kind of experience it will be. It's going to be July 9th to 12th inside of Minecraft. Tickets are $10 for general admission, $15 for VIP, and early entry, $5.